I'm Christine, the anxious beginner. And that's Palle, our fearless captain. Together, we've bought a 45-foot sailboat, and we're ready for an adventure. We are on our way to Provision and pick up some groceries. Today is Wednesday night, and on Friday is when we're planning to cross the border, and then we will have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So we have to go and get all the things that we can take across the border and eat tonight, because tomorrow I have to take the ferry to Anacortes so that I can take Greco across the border, and then Palle is going to take the boat across the border, and we're going to meet in Otter Bay. So as we're taking the groceries down to the boat, the bags all started to break, and so we decided to stop for takeout at this really great place we stopped the other night and get some clam chowder and things like that. And so while I'm waiting for the food to be ready, Palle's taking the bags down a few at a time so that the bags, you can carry them more carefully so the bags don't break. One of our salsas broke when the bag broke and fell on the ground. So now we're gonna be short of salsa. And that just, the bottom of the bag just tore out because it got all wet from the salsa. We normally bring reusable bags instead of just using the paper bags, but we thought that we needed some more paper to put down for Greco's droppings. So we're like, well, we'll just get paper bags instead this time. We should have brought at least some of our bags because we bought too many groceries and it was too heavy, and these bags weren't holding at all. He's in the dinghy, but we're waiting for the ferry because our boat's on the other side of it and it's about to leave. Waiting for the ferry from Friday Harbor to Anacortes, where we're gonna stay tonight. Hey, how do you like it, Greco? Tell the camera about your adventure so far. How is it? Are you having a good time? Alright, Greco's going on a ferry ride.
So I finished work a little bit early today, so I had time to stop by the fuel dock and get fuel. So I'm ready to cross back into Canada tomorrow. Christine is taking Greco to the mainland so that she can go to her appointment with the U.S. Wildlife Service and get Greco inspected before she can bring him into Canada. So she'll be crossing at the Pacific crossing on land and then meeting me in the Gulf Islands. So she'll be taking 3 or 4 ferries to get to where I take one trip. But for tonight, I just need to figure out where I'm going to anchor and get a good night's sleep. I'm going to try anchoring in a new spot here in Friday Harbor over on the west side of the bay.
Still going on the ferry. He's doing really well. He's gonna play with this toy to show you. But he's just been cleaning and relaxing on his perch, and now he's playing with his bell he wants to show off for you guys. So that's it. We are almost to Anacortes, and then we're gonna stay the night in Birch Bay, which is near the border. And then tomorrow morning we have our appointment with this guy to get his inspection done and cross the border, and then there'll be 2 more ferry rides, I believe, because we have to transfer to get to where Palle will be with the boat.
Good morning. It's about 8:30. I slept really well last night. Probably for like 13 hours, except for a couple of times waking up in the middle of the night. My original plan was to clean the boat up a little before I actually left, but I slept without the heater on because our battery was kind of low and we're going to be running the engine most of the day today because there is no wind out there. And so it seemed more efficient to wait and charge the battery with the engine instead of running the generator. But now it's really cold, and so I don't feel like puttering about the boat while it's really cold. So I'm just going to head out and we can wash the dishes and tidy the boat when I get to Pender Island. And the engine's been running all day, making it nice and toasty in here. So that's basically it. I'm going to start heading towards Canada. Christine has her appointment in an hour and a half with the wildlife people to get Greco's permit to cross the border. Cross the fingers everything goes all right.
All right, so Greco and I just woke up here we stayed in a hotel here in Birch Bay on our way up to Canada, and we have our appointment this morning for our inspection. So we're gonna get ready to go right now, and I've got all this paperwork, and I feel really anxious because it has been just a process of getting all of the paperwork together, setting up all the appointments, and then his band number came back wrong on 2 different pieces of paperwork, had to be sent back and come back again. And so today is the day, and I've been so concerned about getting him across the border, but then they're still like, are they gonna let me across the border? So fingers crossed, and let's do this. Well, I made it. Me and Greco, we made it across the border. We are now in Canada. We had all our right paperwork and everyone signed off and we're all set. So now I'm just waiting for a friend to pick me up and take me to the ferry so I can meet back up with Palle. Now we have to quarantine. So I have to keep my mask on at all times, even outside. Oh, and then during transit on my way to the boat, which is where I'm going to quarantine. But once I'm there, we're not allowed to leave for 14 days. So Palle and I will be just hanging out on the boat, maybe getting some boat work done.
So Christine and Greco made it safely across the border. But I just called the Nexus people at customs, and they told me that with COVID and everything, we can't just clear over the phone. So I have to go into Sydney Harbour on Vancouver Island and call again when I'm at the inspection station at Sydney Harbour, which is going to be about the same length of time it would take me to get to Pender Harbour, but it means probably better for Christine to meet me in Swartz Bay after I clear customs instead of meeting me on Pender Island. And I'm not sure where I'll end up staying the night. We could continue on to Pender, but that'll make for a long day. Maybe we'll just anchor near Swartz Bay and continue on to Pender in the morning.
I made it aboard the ferry.
So I just docked in Sydney and gave customs a call, and now I just have to wait for someone to come down to talk to me in person. Amusingly, the last time we were in Sydney, some friends of ours on the boat Drumbeat were here, and I come back and their boat's still here in the same spot. I suspect it hasn't been here the whole time, but it's kind of amusing that they're still here.
I'm on the boat. I made it on the boat! And we're almost to Otter Bay now, where we're gonna quarantine for the next 14 days. And then we're gonna go pick fruit in the orchard.
Well, hopefully there's fruit. It might be getting too late in the apple season. But there was that other fruit too that we didn't know about. We need to go back and check that out.
Where?
In the orchard, it had this other kind of fruit that wasn't an apple or a pear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think though, because the fruit wasn't ripe when we were here before, it should be ripe now.
Yeah, but it might have already ripened and brought it away by now.
No, it's going to be ready. And we're going to eat it. Hopefully.
Okay.
So it's been a long day of traveling, so we're just gonna get settled, anchor, and settle in. 14 days. Quarantine. Can't leave the boat.
If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to join us on the next adventure, hit subscribe.